To recognize the ranking member from North Carolina, Ms. Adams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank again the witnesses for being here. When students sign up for college, they shouldn't be left guessing how much aid they'll get, guessing whether tuition will jump from one year to the next, guessing if they'll be able to stay enrolled at all. But the biggest challenge, I think, for students is covering the gap between the money, the aid that they receive from the institutions and what they're able to pay. I spent 40 years teaching as a college professor, and so I do understand some of this. But I know that that kind of uncertainty pushes students to the breaking point. Some take on loans that they can't repay, others drop out, not because they couldn't do the work, but because they couldn't make the math work. Now, let's put the numbers in perspective. The maximum Pell Grant today is $7,395. And in most states, including North Carolina, where tuition and fees at a community college average just about $2,300, that's more than enough to cover tuition. But what that tells us is simple. Community colleges are doing a lot with very little. They're providing a rigorous post-secondary education at a fraction of the cost of four-year institutions, but they need more federal support to keep doing more while staying affordable. And yet, despite these low tuition costs, about 12% of community college students nationwide are still taking out student loans. And that tells us affordability isn't just about tuition. It's about housing. It's about food and transportation. It's about childcare and the full cost of attendance. So while today's hearing is about transparency, we can't stop there. Students don't just need price tags. They need predictability. They need affordability, and they need Congress to stand up for them and not pull the rug out with cuts to Pell and federal aid. And let me just turn to our witness, Ms. Leitinen. Many students are concerned that during their time in college, their aid and therefore their cost of attendance can change dramatically. You've written about price guarantees versus affordability guarantees. So could you answer what is a price guarantee and why is it different from an affordability guarantee? And what considerations should Congress keep in mind if we explore an affordability guarantee?
Thank you so much for the question. So I think price guarantees are trying to get at this question that you talked about, which is predictability. Higher ed is a super weird product, and that you buy it multiple times. It's not like you just buy it once and you're paying, you sort of put it on layaway and you're paying the same price over time. The costs can dramatically change from year to year. And we need to stop that. We need to make sure that those prices are predictable. And I think that's what the price guarantee is trying to do. And so I understand that. I think it's absolutely worth exploring. I think there is some caution in what we have seen in certain states so far, which is in some cases, states have frozen the tuition for a certain group of students only to really raise tuition for the other students, or including out-of-state students. And it's not just raising tuition for them, it's recruiting more of them so the schools can get more money. So we have to make sure as we're designing a program like that, that we're not shifting costs onto students. Okay. But either way, that's not an affordability guarantee. And students need to make sure that they can afford to go to college.
Thank you. In July, Congress passed H.R. 1, which cut federal student aid and safety net programs, and students tell me that they need more aid, not less. And while transparency is important, what good is transparency if we're just telling students they can't afford their dream? So, Ms. Leitinen, as these student aid cuts take effect in 2026, what should students and families be aware of when making decisions about how to pay for college, from tuition to indirect costs, and what should we know about how H.R. 1 will affect colleges' abilities to address rising costs?
I mean, I think they need to know that it's probably going to be more expensive for some students and that it's going to be harder for low-income students to achieve some of the things that they've been wanting to achieve. And I think we're going to see in certain places, like for medical education, for example, I think it's going to be harder for students who don't come from wealthy families to be able to afford to go to medical school and become doctors.
Thank you. Let me move on quickly. So given the tuition at community colleges is often below the maximum Pell, but students are still borrowing at significant rates. So how should Congress better support community colleges so that they can continue offering affordable, high-quality education while addressing the full cost of attendance? I've got about 3 seconds.
Investment.
Okay. All right, thank you. I'm investing as a grandmother with two granddaughters in college right now. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I yield back.
Now,